And welcome back to another episode of the Koto's Mojo. And as always, I'm your host, Patrick Koto. We have a lot to unpack today. We got Matt back on the show with us. Ian's taking another break. So it's just me and Matt today. Matt, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Just recorded our other podcast this morning. That was a lot of fun. So now we get back going with Koto's Mojo. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. The Wi-Fi hated me today, so we had to adjust things accordingly. But
Yeah.
we're getting this stuff up and rolling today. We're going to talk about, obviously, the Chicago street race, which will be later. But first, Matt, I want to touch on our Chicago Blackhawks, who have made some huge offseason moves that feel like we should have some optimism.
I have a lot of I have a lot of ops oh, yeah, I have a lot of optimism as a Blackhawks fan going forward because they went out in free agency and they actually made some
Big
pretty
moves.
goddamn big moves. I like
Obviously,
them.
the biggest one right now was having the second pick in the NHL draft, drafting if I say this right, Artem Levshinov, defenseman from Michigan State. Matt, a lot of people are probably pissed that we didn't get Celebrini. I don't give a fuck. We need defense.
Yes, we need some defensive players and getting the best player available on defense in this year's draft. That was key because offense will be okay with Bedard. Bedard is a great offensive
I
player.
was gonna say
We need,
last year's draft was the offense, and then you can't with Bedard, and now this time it's Levshinov on the defensive side, which we need.
yes, exactly. I love that pick on the defense. That's an underrated signing in my opinion, and I think the Blackhawks, honestly, they made the right move.
Exactly. We also got Sacha Boisvert, a center, Mark Van Ecker, left wing, and Tyler Bertuzzi and Pat Maroon. Other players we picked up.
Yeah, and the contracts that we signed them to, I'm looking at the contracts. Contracts that we made were really good. Tyler Bertuzzi had 4 year, $5.5 million deal, 21 goals with the Maple Leafs last year. He had 40.
Well, we all know who the main star was on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a great addition
I
alongside
agree.
of Austin
And
Matthews. Yeah.
we need these additions and stuff. I mean, you saw how the Blackhawks built their way up to their Stanley Cups. It didn't happen
Yeah.
overnight. We had to get other keys, and
Yeah,
so
we
far, I like what we're doing.
I really do like what the Hawks are doing right now. I think their offseason, I think this puts them I've been at first I was asking people, so where do you think the Blackhawks are in terms of the standings right now? They're like Teravainen is
Thank you.
Teravainen is an unbelievable asset that we've gotten. And again, people I was asking people, where do you think this puts us? And they were like saying, well, I think we're right on the cusp of a playoff spot. Like we may not make it this year,
We're
but
not going to.
honestly,
Blackhawks fans, do not get your dicks hard just yet. There's still some work to do, but we're going to be a lot better than we've had these past few years. Playoff spot, possibly, but there's still some work to be done, but a good step forward.
I think the ceiling for them this year is a wild card berth in the playoffs. That's what I
Right.
feel. That's what I feel their
I'm not gonna
ceiling
lie,
is.
they're the only Chicago team to be excited for because the Bears, we got to see what some of these rookies do. I mean, Romo Dunze and Caleb Blames haven't signed their contracts yet, which they will eventually. Social media needs to chill the fuck out, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
Y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill the fuck out. It's just facts. Yes, they haven't signed yet, but let's chill the fuck out. It's only July 9th. Let's relax. They'll
Yeah.
sign their contract soon. Obviously, the Cubs continue to shit the bed. White Sox, what's the White Sox? The Bulls, we're going to rain on them soon, but the Blackhawks are the only exciting team in Chicago right now.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are the only team that has any sort of hope right now. I think the Bears will have some hope once Caleb Williams gets re-signed to a deal, but I love what I'm seeing from the Hawks right now. I think the Blackhawks are going to have a lot of momentum going forward this next season. I think you give them maybe 2 years, they'll be a team that's going to be ready to compete and ready to go for a cup title. And I know the rest of the NHL is salty about that because, I mean, the whole Blackhawks scandal that broke out a couple of years ago, back when Quinville was there. I know, I understand that, but you know what? That was in the past. We're looking forward to
Right.
the future now. we don't care about what anybody else in the NHL thinks
Well, we
about
also
us.
had some stupid chick try to accuse Kane of some stuff
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of allegations, there were a lot of allegations going
because
out, but
because of their money. That's why.
yeah, exactly. And it's just I don't care. That was years ago. I'm looking
Exactly.
forward to now, Was
Exactly. We're
it
looking forward
upsetting that
for
it
now.
happened? Yes. Yeah,
Now,
but
let the past go. Like there has been worse shit
yes.
than what
There,
happened with the Blackhawks.
yes, there's been worse things that have happened with other teams. I mean, there was
And they somehow get away with that.
well, yeah, I mean, what was it? Maple Leafs had like an underground sex ring underneath their stadium for years that was covered up. That wasn't exposed until like 20, 30 years after the fact at Maple Leaf Gardens. So,
I'm sure every NHL team has something hiding.
yeah, they all have some deep and dark secrets, but the Blackhawks, unfortunately, that got out about them, and it sucks for
Makes you
Kyle
want to
Beach.
watch. Makes you want to watch the movie Sudden Death.
It does. It really does. I feel sorry for Kyle Beach, but I really do. But the thing is that I'm looking forward to the future with what this team could do.
Aren't we all? Yeah, no, the Blackhawks, there's many reasons to be optimistic about them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. But yes, no, they're going to be good. I like the direction we're going in right now. I believe we had more first round picks as well.
We had three. I think we had three.
Oh yeah, Sacha Boisvert. I said Sacha Boisvert and a center and Merrick Banneker, if I said his name
Yes.
right, a left wing. So that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. That is very good. The
Well,
Black
it's going to be a young but good team next year.
young, inexperienced, but very good as long as these rookies pan out. That's what I'm hopeful for.
Exactly.
That
Awesome. You know what? You know what other Chicago team you that we should just not even
yeah.
like anymore? The Bulls.
Well, I mean, when you look at the offseason the Bulls are having, how can you not shit on them? It's like, how can you
Oh,
not?
oh, Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Defender for a Predator. Okay.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, that's what a great signing that was.
Great signing. DeMar DeRozan to the fucking Kings.
Okay, I
Just
like
getting rid of DeMar DeRozan in general. I'm actually happy that he's on a winning team because look out for the Kings.
the Kings. I think are going to be a good team. They got him at decent value. I think it was a really good signing that DeMar DeRozan for what he was worth 3 years, $70 million going to the Kings. It's not a bad
Yep.
deal. That's
No,
not a
it's
bad deal.
not. No, it's not. But it's also the Bulls being the Bulls.
It is the Bulls being the
Only the
Bulls.
Bulls.
Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls could allow someone like that to walk away and have no regrets about it.
He knows a theme song called Only the Bulls, right?
Yeah. We just need to make that the official song for at the United Center for all
It
Bulls
is the
games.
official song because now the Bulls are just you just can't with this team anymore. You thought with
No,
the new guy, Archuris, you thought he'd be the answer. Nope.
nope. Even Archuris cannot overcome the might of Jerry Reinsdorf. Like this is just I don't understand how this team honestly, I have this team around the same category as I do the Wizards or the Pistons this season.
Right.
Trash. Complete trash in
Oh yeah,
every way.
they just signed Cade Cunningham to a new deal.
The Pistons, say what you want about the Pistons. They keep Cade Cunningham for a long term. Cade Cunningham, I like him as a player, dude, but I don't know how soon you're going to be winning a chip in Detroit anytime soon. Hate to
Him and
say it,
Jaden
but
Ivey are for sure,
no, yeah, they're stuck. They are stuck. Pistons, that's not a good situation for them.
Nope, and of course the Grizzlies, of course, and in the draft there weren't that many, exciting names to look out for. Not gonna lie.
No, I mean Zach Edey getting drafted to the Grizzlies. That's a big signing.
Right.
I had some friends that went to Purdue. They spoke a lot highly about Edey, so he's I think he'll have a great future in the NBA. I'm happy for him. I
Right.
think Spurs had a pretty good draft. I think the Spurs are going to be back in contention
Stephon
soon.
Castle, they got the Rockets got Reed Shepard.
I think
Um, huh?
Houston, I think, will be looking pretty decent next
Yep.
season.
Donovan Clingan to the Blazers.
How could wait? Not forget the big elephant in the room. How could we not forget the big elephant in the room, buddy? Mr. Bronny James going to going to none
of,
other than the Lakers himself.
of course, with his daddy.
Of course, yeah. What I love the most was how JJ Redick and Rob Pelinka both got up into the press conference and said, "We want to make clear that nepotism did not play any factor into us into us drafting Bronny
Right.
James." Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm sorry. That's he only did it because Lay GM saw his boy still sitting there and wanted to take him.
Of course. I can't say I'm surprised.
No, we're not surprised at all either. But I don't like Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick just sitting up there and saying, yeah, nepotism didn't play a factor. Like, I'm sorry. In what other area did Bronny James really impress people?
Dalton Connect will be better than him. Just watch.
Yeah, I that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm sorry, but I sent you this meme the other night. Bronny James is basically Patrick in that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob beats him up by doing nothing. That is, and once that's what's gonna happen
The
once
salty
LeBron
split.
James.
I wonder if there's a salty split. I'm sure there's a salty splatoon out in LA.
It is, and I think it's for a lot of Lakers fans because I don't think Lakers fans really like this.
I will tell you this though. I think the Grizzlies got a good pickup of Zach Edey and stuff because you have him, Jaren Jackson Jr., Marcus Smart, and John Morant, which I'm sure you saw
Yeah,
that little Instagram meme
yeah, yeah. I
of
saw
Chris
that
Carter's like,
Instagram.
because Chris Carter's little jaw, and then there's fucking Zach Edey, big boy 7-footer, be like, what's
Yeah, Ja. If he stays healthy and stays out of trouble, he's gonna be having a nice welcome back tour in Memphis this season.
Yep.
He
And it
really
looks
is.
like Colorado had some good players go to the draft. Cody Williams to the Jazz, Tristan De Silva to the Magic.
Magic, I think, are going to be a team on the rise soon.
They
Made the
will. They
playoffs
will.
last
They got
year. I
some good
think they're
players.
going to be getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be looking
The
pretty
Bulls
good.
obviously getting Modest Buzelis, a local
Mm.
apparently.
He's a local boy. I like the pickup of him, but sorry, Modest, you're gonna have a rough welcome to the NBA tour here. I hate to say it, but the NBA ain't gonna be too kind to you to start off with you being drafted by the Bulls.
Yeah, no. Well, especially since the Bulls have entered their dark days because Caruso's gone, DeRozan's gone.
Levine should be gone. I think it's only a
Levine
matter.
and Vucevic. Well, Vucevic, we pretty much fucked ourselves with signing Vucevic for
Yeah, for that much.
right.
For that much and for giving up that much for him. That was not a good signing. He was supposed to be our big boy center, and he never lived up to that.
He never lived up to that. Zach Levine never lived up.
No, Levine did not live up to the max, and
We
he
knew it
doesn't
was
want to be
coming.
here.
We knew that shit was
Yeah,
coming.
it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. They were damned if they signed him because you know they they couldn't really afford much other free agents, but it was a damned if they don't because they'd be losing one of their best players. But I'm
Oh
just
well,
I'm
Levine and Vucevic will be gone soon. Just watch.
they will be, even though Levine's trade value is probably worse than half a bag of potato chips. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that's what I would say his trade value is.
for sure. Well, and with the NBA, the league's just been soft lately.
The league has been pretty soft lately. They're just trying to, I don't like how they've catered a lot to some of the big superstars like LeBron. It's literally become just his show, to
Yep.
be honest with you.
And now the Bulls are going to tank for Cooper Flag.
Oh God, yeah, and we can't even tank properly because the next draft pick that we'll have will probably ruin and turn into a bust.
He probably will.
Yep.
Like
I
I still remember all those Bulls fans wanting to tank for Zion Williamson.
we were never gonna get Zion. We
We were
were
never going to get
never.
Zion. It's Kobe White's show now.
Do you know how depressing that sounds? I mean, I know Kobe White had a great year last year, but do you know how depressing that sounds saying it's Kobe White's show now?
Oh, well, we're just warming him up for whatever team picks him up next.
Yeah, we're just trying to warm him up and make him better so that some team, I just hope some bottom feeder team like the Wizards, the Hornets, the Pistons, even, or fuck, what's another bottom feeder team? Fucking,
You said the
uh,
Hornets, right?
Hornets. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. The
Dumpster
Raptors,
fire
maybe.
teams. There's plenty
Yeah,
of dumpster fire teams.
yeah, the Raptors, maybe. I don't know. Like,
What the
I'm just
fuck
hoping.
happened to them?
Yeah, getting rid of Kawhi was still not the best move for them. It was not the best
Yeah,
move
how
for
about the
both sides.
Blazers or the Spurs?
Blazers, yeah, probably getting some picks from the Blazers. Yeah, honestly, just making them look good so some bottom feeder franchise will just trade their whole future away for Kobe White, and we can just capitalize off of that.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be so funny. Yeah, I would laugh hysterically if some bottom feeder team just sent us a king's ransom for Kobe White. That would be the
Yep.
only thing. That would be the only way, the only possible way this franchise would be saved is if someone overpays for Kobe White. And I can
Well, this
totally
franchise is fucked, so.
they're fucked until some other bottom feeder team decides to send
Yep.
way too much for them.
But
So
you can't get your hopes up with the Bulls. They are the least they are them and the White Sox are two teams that you just can't get your hopes up for anything. The Cubs are starting to go that direction unless they fix their fucking bullpen.
yes. Yeah. As a Cubs fan here, fix the damn bullpen going into the deadline. That's what you need to do.
Or
And
Justin Steele, just keep throwing a complete game.
yeah. Can we clone Justin Steele 60 times over and just have him have one of his clones
And
start every
Shota.
game?
Clone
And
Steele and
Shota.
Shota.
Yeah, clone Steele and Shota. We just need to
Do not clone the professor.
fuck no. No, we're not close. Kyle Hendricks is done. I'm sorry.
He's done.
I like him. He's nostalgic because of 2016, but he needs to go. I'm sorry. He's done.
Yeah, no. Hendricks is done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's done. I'm not being fooled by his recent games. He is fucked.
Yep. But yeah, the Blackhawks are the only team to be excited about right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The Blackhawks I'm hopeful for, and the Bears I'm optimistic for.
Yep. And again, people, Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze will sign their contracts. Chill the fuck out.
They will. I mean, we've seen this before with other quarterbacks, and other players not signing their contracts at first. I think they'll get it figured out
Right.
eventually. I mean, they always will get it figured out. That's what I'm thinking. It will always get figured out no matter
Yep.
what.
Now, Matt, let's start our engines and talk about the street race in Chicago. Holy shit. What a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a weekend for you. It wasn't for me because I was homesick.
Hey,
So
you got to watch the race at least.
I did get to watch the race at least. I got to come home on Saturday and watch the Xfinity race. That was pretty nice to see on TV. And then okay, so I didn't mention this on our NASCAR podcast this morning, but I so the race started at 3:30. I was supposed to work an 11 to 8 on Sunday. And then after stage 1, the red flag comes in. Race is stopped for an hour and a half. They let me go from work at 7:15. The race is still stopped. I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna go home and watch this race. And then as soon as I get back in my car, the caution flag came back out. They were gonna restart. I was like, oh, I'm just booking it. So I booked it home and watched the last hour of that race, and that was a great decision I made.
It was the race against time.
It was a race against time. I got home right at the end of the caution after Larson plowed right into the tire barrier.
Fucking Larson.
Yep. Yeah. If you didn't know,
Larson was my loser of the week on your show.
yes, Kyle Larson was the loser of the week
He's
on.
having a loser stretch now. Holy shit.
Yeah, Kyle Larson is not looking that good right now. He's really toned it down this past month of June, I would say.
Yep.
But
We had Shane Van Gisbergen win the Xfinity race, and Alex Bowman win the Cup race.
hold up. I hacked something up. just like just like Alex Bowman had to hack another win there. I would
He
love to
deserved that one.
I will give him that. He was right place, right time again, but he deserved it. That was one of the races Bowman, you could argue Bowman deserved. I think half of his races he didn't deserve. I mean, he deserved to win his first race, he deserved to win Auto Club 2020,
Right.
Dover 21, and yeah, he deserved to win this one. The other half of his races, like Pocono,
And
Barnesville,
Martinsville.
and then what's another? Yeah, Vegas.
Las Vegas at 22.
Yeah, he really didn't deserve to get those wins. But congrats to Alex Bowman. I'm very happy for you. You're in the playoffs now, and you've made Denny Hamlin fans, such as our good buddy Nick Kinzel, very happy.
The Hamlet fans weren't too happy on Sunday with him crashing too.
Yeah, Denny by no means did he have a good day at all.
Well, those barriers were so close and stuff that you had to be really careful when driving around.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, those barriers and stuff. It wasn't necessarily best, especially in the wet and the rain track, and the course with how wet it was out there. I mean, rain was seeping through so much on the track, it was
Right.
starting to flood. I mean, drivers, they were just hydroplaning in a lot
Yeah.
of different
Thankfully, there was
areas.
not much flooding as there was last year because last year it rained the whole fucking weekend. This year,
Yeah.
not so much. The only pain in the ass we got of it was Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean,
We had
at
to
least
run. We had to run. We were running in that downpour trying to get cover, and oh,
oh God, yeah, I can only imagine that red flag was a little bit miserable for you, but hey,
yeah, we were dry, but
at least you got to see the race end under green though.
we
May not
did
have
get to
been
see
wasn't the advertised distance, but you at least got to see it done.
exactly no, and yeah, it's good to see Shane Van Gisbergen win the Xfinity race. Sucks that he couldn't win the Cup race.
Uh, well, you can thank Briscoe for that.
Yeah, yeah, someone named Mr. Chase Briscoe and stuff. Yeah, no, I thought it was really cool, and I'm really glad, they did it again. I don't know how much longer they'll be, but there is a track in Joliet that they can easily go back to.
I'm sorry. This was better marketing, better promotional, better opportunities for NASCAR. I think this was better for them than I like the Oval of Joliet too, but this is truly special what they're doing at the street course in Chicago. This is really
So what do they do? So if they do race next year, because that's the last year of the contract, where do they go next?
well, I would hope the city of Chicago would renew their contract.
So you're saying you don't want you prefer the street course over the track at Joliet.
I would probably, as of right now, yes, I would probably prefer. But I was just gonna say, if after next year they don't renew, the city of Chicago and NASCAR decides to not renew their contract to return to the street course, then yeah, Joliet would be the next spot I'd want them
Yeah,
to
bring
go.
it back to Joliet.
Yeah, I mean,
Because we gained a lot of fans.
mm-hmm,
50%, over 50% of the fans that came out were new fans.
mm-hmm, yeah, and hey, they would get to see some good oval racing at.
Exactly. I mean, like we saw Kansas, because Kansas is pretty much the sister track of Chicagoland Speedway. We just saw that finish. You can only imagine how the racing would be at Chicagoland.
Oh God, at Chicagoland before they closed, Chicagoland Speedway did have some pretty good finishes. I think
A
back to
slide
like,
job.
yeah, Slide Job 2018. You had Bowman versus Larson in 2019. You did have some pretty good finishes there, and I think with this new car that would further do it. But that's the thing is the Speedway's lost so much money. The Speedway is still bleeding. I'm surprised they haven't really torn it down yet, but I'd love it. If NASCAR decides to not go back there, not go back to the street course next season, I'd love it if they were to go back to the oval.
If they can go back Chicago, first of all, they go back Chicago. I'm going to make sure that one, we gotta book that weekend right away.
Oh yeah, yeah. If we do that, we're booking that weekend right away. I'd love
Yeah,
to
no,
get.
and that's going to be some great racing. We saw what happened at Kansas.
Mhm.
We saw what happened at other short tracks.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I honestly, I can see a yeah, you mentioned in Michigan, similar track to Chicago a little bit. Has
Michigan, yeah, Michigan and Chicagoland, Nashville.
yeah, Kansas, a lot of those tracks. I mean, they're
Yeah,
pretty similar. They're pretty similar.
yeah.
So
I was gonna say having Nashville is like a baby to Chicagoland and Michigan.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I like the Nashville race there. I thought the Nashville race was pretty
Oh, it
decent.
was great.
Yeah, but and you're seeing a lot of like the shorter intermediate tracks. Like Phoenix hasn't produced the best racing with this new car.
What the
New
fuck,
Ham
Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix, they should not have the championship race. I'm sorry.
Nope.
And it's saying something when NASCAR just doubles down and keeps it there for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
So,
Unfortunately, it'll be back again from the championship and next season. God damn it.
I don't like Phoenix as that track. I really don't. I bring it back to Homestead if you're gonna bring
We
have a
used to be
champ.
excited for Phoenix. Now we're not anymore.
No, no, we're not. I mean, I Phoenix in 2020, it was okay. That was a decent championship race. Same with 21. And then after that, they've just progressively gotten worse, you know. And especially
The new car really hasn't been its best.
not at Phoenix. That it just depends on like the intermediate tracks with that package. It really hasn't been good there at all.
Martinsville's been hit or miss.
Bristol, but with the new tire thing they did at Bristol, I like that race.
Bristol kind of won me back over with the new
Yeah,
car.
Richmond, not so much. Gateway is hit or miss. I think New Hampshire.
The racing hasn't been too bad at Gateway.
No, no. I
Race
think
Gateway is a New Hampshire where you can pass.
yes.
Although
Yeah.
this year's New Hampshire, you know,
You could
did not
pass.
disappoint either.
Yeah, you could pass on that track, which, well, thanks to the rain tires coming out.
That
Thanks to
too.
that. Yeah, thanks to that rain tire coming out that we saw those pretty thrilling last 80 laps. It was actually pretty
Yep.
exciting. But yeah, yeah, I love seeing the street course race again on TV. My only complaint is, here's my only complaint about the street course race. If you're gonna do it, why won't you just start it earlier in the day?
Yeah, like why the fuck wait till 3:30? Like start the fucking thing at
Like 1:30, 2 o'clock the latest. That's what I would
I
say.
was gonna
Two
say
o'clock
Xfinity started at 2:30 on
Saturday.
yeah. Although it's funny, Xfinity likes to start a little later in the day and Cup likes to start earlier. So yeah, why the fuck did you not start it at
I
1:32?
I will never get, because that's the thing. I came home from work. I got home from work at like 7:30. I raced to my TV in my room to put the NASCAR race back on. And my parents came in. They were like, "Is the race get back going again?" I was like, "Yeah, it just restarted." And my parents were like, why did they wait to start this race at 3:30? Why did they not
Although
start it
you
early?
could make that argument. You could make that argument, and then you try to
Yeah.
start at one, and then it rains. Then so it's weather is
But
just
it
out of our control.
but it didn't really rain at 1 o'clock in Chicago.
But that's the other thing too. You don't know when.
Well, yeah, you don't, but you can't predict when. But I was just
Can't
thinking,
predict when the weather's going to happen. Also depends on other networking streams. Like I know they were streaming the Mid Ohio race for IndyCar.
yeah, they were doing that.
So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that was,
it also depends on the other events that NBC streams.
yeah, yeah, they were doing, God, it was quite a bit of that. So I, I wish they had started the race a little bit sooner, but I didn't mind the racing that we saw. I liked it.
Yeah, the racing was great. I didn't mind it either.
Now we just need to see it in actual broad daylight and not when rain is just fucking pouring down on the track. Like we need it to be like how the Xfinity race was on Saturday.
Right.
So, mhm.
Speaking of racing, Matt, we're going to Pocono.
Oh boy. Yeah. Pocono, the Pocono Mountains.
Yep. Well,
So
Pocono is a Toyota is a playground for Toyota.
mainly Denny Hamlin.
Yep. But we got the
And
trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup. So why don't we go ahead and make our picks? Matt, who are you picking?
Oh man. Okay, so for truck, I'm going with the man who led every lap back
You're
in
just gonna pick
Nashville.
like everyone like you did on the Kodobak pit stop, aren't you?
Hey, I'm sticking with
Yep.
my predictions. I'm sticking with my guts. We're keeping that pick. I'm going Mr. Christian Eckes for trucks. For the Xfinity series, I'm going Chandler Smith. I have his shirt here that I got from Gateway, so I need to be
Nice.
repping that.
Wait, you
I
got a
was
Chandler Smith shirt at Gateway?
Yeah, you didn't see that? I got that.
No, because you bought so much merch. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, hey, I had to splurge one way or another.
You bought a
So,
Blaney shirt, a Noah shirt, a Suarez hat, a Sam Mayer koozie.
Chandler Smith shirt. I got a Blaney and Eric Jones diecast. I need to get some more when I go out to Gateway, or not Gateway, but
Indeed.
Indy. Yeah, when we go to Indy next weekend, we need to get some more shit.
Oh, we
So,
will.
but yeah, I'm going Chandler Smith. I'll be repping his shirt if he wins this weekend. And then for Cup, I am going Denny Hamlin. He's gonna keep his Pocono streak alive, and he'll
Good
probably piss
picks.
off. And he'll probably piss off another driver again.
I beat your favorite driver.
I want him to say that again. If he gets into somebody and the crowd is booing him, I'd want him to say that and just be an arrogant asshole in front of everybody.
Nice. Well, my picks for the race, for the trucks, I'm gonna stick with two-thirds of it. I'm gonna go with Roger Caruth for the trucks.
All
For the
right.
Xfinity, Austin Hill making it 2 years in a row.
Huh.
And dude. Hey, he's a great guy in person.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. He's a
Yeah.
great dude in person from what you said.
Yep. Hey, Joey Logano's great in person. Ross Chastain's great in person. Yet they
Yeah,
drive like assholes on the track.
exactly.
And then
Exactly.
my cup pick, I'm gonna go with the Toyota driver. Like I said, Toyota Playground, and Ty Gibbs will find himself in victory lane for the first time as a cup driver.
All right, a first time winner. You said Bubba on the Kotobach pit stop this morning,
I
but
did, but I did pick Gibbs as an honorable mention.
you did. You did. So that isn't much of a difference. So
It isn't
it's not.
true, but it's still a Toyota because while a Toyota is going to find victory lane for the cup at least.
Yeah, I think Toyota, this is a get right race for Toyota.
Yeah.
We've seen them struggle a bit as of late. I mean, they haven't won since well, they
Ooh,
haven't won since they
Toyota.
haven't won. Yeah, they haven't won since New Hampshire with Christopher Bell when he outright dominated that race. But even,
That was only a couple weeks ago.
yeah, that's a couple weeks ago, but they've still somewhat kind of struggled a little bit since. They
Oh
have.
yeah, I mean, Danny Hamlin's the only one that's saving them, and Christopher
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah, they're the only two that are kind of keeping them going.
Yep,
Truex is
Truex is
consistent.
Truex.
He's Truex. Ty Gibbs still hasn't cracked victory lane. Tyler Reddick has came so close, and Bubba Wallace just keeps getting screwed over by either Rex or his pick crew.
Well, the Alex Bowman win shakes up the playoffs. Holy shit!
Hmm. Yeah, and Ty Gibbs wins. That makes it much more difficult for Bubba to get back in it.
Exactly. Taking a look at the playoffs and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. No. So there are, yeah, it's Truex, Gibbs, Busher, and Ross Chastain who are the only drivers remaining in the playoff hunt or in the playoffs that don't have a win.
You know what? I just want to say this too right now. Mr. Ross Chastain kind of needs to get himself back going in the right direction. He has looked very off, very pedestrian this whole season. Like, I'm sorry. He's been so conservative and so just laid back behind the wheel. We haven't really seen too much of him. Like, I don't, and it's like he's qualifies okay, but he's never really up front leading as much as he did. Yeah, he led some laps in Nashville, but he crashed out late. I honestly kind of feel like if he keeps running like this is a bold. I have a bold pick going forward.
Let's hear it.
If he keeps running like this, Mr. Ross Chastain is not going to make the playoffs. He will be one of the drivers that will be pushed out below the playoff cut line.
I mean, that's a good pick, man. That's a good prediction, man. And well, it's hard to tell at the moment what will happen. Maybe he will pick it up. Who knows? But I'll tell you this. There's other drivers out there who are not in the playoffs that could easily steal one of those spots. You're looking at Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Noah Gregson.
You're looking at a bunch of hungry drivers. Josh Berry's another one too. And the only person who's above the cutoff line, the only person who's still in the playoffs but below Ross Chastain is Chris Buescher. And
Right.
if you remember that
And
month
Chris
of
Buescher too,
August,
yeah.
you remember that month of August last year, Chris Buescher went on a hot streak. He scored 3 wins. He was unstoppable week in, week out. He's gonna get a win before it's all said and done, I feel. And
Exactly.
Ross
Well, Busher,
Chastain.
well, Busher, he is in the playoffs as of now, so that's good. But but trust me, if a driver like Bubba Wallace, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, or Noah Gregson gets a win, one of those four drivers, or one of those somebody ain't making the playoffs.
Yeah, someone ain't making the playoffs. It can be any one of those guys. I mean, Busher has been so close so many times this year, and he's just, he's been consistent though. He's just been
Well,
kind of,
Busher had 2 wins taken away from him in 2 straight weeks,
yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for those, he
and we
probably
had to
would have
see,
been,
and we had
yeah.
to see that one of them.
Yeah, closest finish in history.
But if Busher wins them both, Brad Keselowski is still
Out.
winless.
Yeah, honestly, here's what I would have liked to see happen if Busher just beats Larson at Kansas, and then
Well, that would have been
uh
perfect for Roush to go back to back.
yeah, and then Busher goes for it again at Darlington, and he gets roughed up by Reddick late. That gives Keselowski the lead, and he still wins it.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's
So
what we probably should have saw what happened. Reddick, or Busher wins at Kansas, and Keselowski still wins at Darlington with Tyler Reddick. Just
yeah, Tyler Reddick decided to be a fucking idiot then and there.
yep, yep,
Hmm. Hmm.
yep. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, no, instead Busher, I wouldn't say he desperately needs to win, but he needs to stay consistent.
He needs to stay consistent, but he's been consistent a lot this year.
He has been consistent. Ross Chastain, I think, is the biggest one that needs to stay consistent because he's been showing some inconsistency.
He has
Ty
been, and
Gibbs,
he's
Ty Gibbs, same shit, stay consistent. Truex, I feel like he's safe. He's plus 125 with no
Truex.
wins on the season, so I think he's fine.
Unless those guys below Truex start winning, he's safe. He'll be fine unless those guys behind him start to win. That's the thing.
Exactly. And
Mm.
Ford did ever manufacture these wake the fuck up.
Oh,
Ford, Ford and Toyota have not had their strongest year.
they haven't, but Ford's been getting going a little bit this summer. I mean, you got the Penske drivers starting to win.
That's
You have
true.
our,
Blaney, Sindick, and yes, I said that. Sindick and Logano.
I'm I'm really excited to see what this next half of the season in NASCAR will bring. I really am.
Exactly. It'll be
Hmm.
exciting, Matt.
It will be
Okay,
indeed. Hmm.
let's wrap up with our fun segments, our big three, our fantastic and bonehead play of the week. This week's big three, it's a good one. Our big three what if moments in sports. Matt, you go first.
All right, this is the big one, and this is very recent. What if Edmonton actually pulled off the reverse sweep in Florida?
Oh,
Yeah. What if that goal that Bobrovsky saved that was just right outside the net? What if that
right.
actually went in?
I like that. What if? What if?
Mhm. Yeah, would I don't know if Florida would ever recover. I don't know if the
Nope.
Panthers would ever recover from that because that would just be a franchise killer. My other biggest what if is okay, 2021 NBA playoffs. What if Kevin Durant's foot was not on the 3-point line?
The Nets would win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they probably would.
I like that.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
if?
That whole series with them
That's a good one.
That whole series with them against Milwaukee, that was a big.
They would have won that series first and foremost.
Yeah, that whole thing was a big what if moment in sports. And then my other
that was the best series. That was the best series over the Bucks and Suns finals.
Yeah, that was in my opinion the best series in that whole playoff. So two heavyweights going at it. And then my other what if, this is for NASCAR, what if Kyle Larson took the offer from Stewart-Haas Racing? Would they still be going?
Nope. Ooh. Well, I like those picks, Matt. Those are good. Let's go on to my big three what ifs in sports. My first one, this is a good one that I'm sure some fans remember. What if Kurt Busch's tire did not come off when he entered pit road of the 2004 NASCAR Championship race?
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, he was almost close to hitting that wall anyways. He came within inches of hitting that tire barriers. If he hits those, that's the end of his championship run.
Yeah, but what if the tire did not come off?
Oh, yeah, it didn't come off and came out and brought out that caution. Yeah.
Exactly, because that's what kind of helped him a little bit.
That caution was a saving grace. That was a grace from God.
Yeah, what if that tire did not come off? My second one, this one's a painful one. What if Derrick Rose never tore his ACL?
The Bulls would have had their biggest dynasty.
Yep.
Bulls would have been a dynasty.
We would have won the NBA championship. We dethrone Miami and win the finals.
More than likely, that's what we would have done.
My third one, this is a good one. What if the tuck rule wasn't a thing? That would be a fumble, and the Raiders beat the Patriots in the 2001 AFC divisional round.
Yeah, no doubt they would have baned them then. I mean, the Raiders, that lives rent-free in Raiders fans' heads. I mean,
exactly, that was clearly a fumble.
There was. You cannot tell me, anyway, looking at it, that Tom Brady threw an incomplete pass. He didn't even release the ball. I know. Yeah. Well, his arm was going forward, but he
didn't throw the ball. He was like,
didn't throw the ball. He did that because he was tucking the ball in, and they were like, "No, he was trying to throw it." Like, what? Who are they trying to throw it to? The ground? That would be intentional grounding if that's the case, which would be a penalty.
Right.
So, like,
and the Raiders win.
No doubt, yeah, the Raiders win. I mean, Patriots were handing their money to the refs even before Tom Brady was famous.
Exactly. But yes, what if the tuck rule was not a thing? What if it was not a thing? What if that was an actual fumble?
Patriot is kind of. You got to wonder if the Patriots dynasty would ever really begin at that point. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, the Raiders were so good at that point, and they were good. I mean, they were good they went to the Super Bowl next year, and they imploded. So,
yep.
You got to wonder if John Gruden still sticks around in Oakland. It doesn't go off to Tampa Bay after that.
And then Tampa Bay would not win that Super Bowl.
Tampa wouldn't win that Super Bowl because
one play can always determine.
Yeah, and that was one defining play in NFL history that determined the fate of everything. So,
yep.
Just looking at all the repercussions that thing produced.
Yep. And now, Matt, let's wrap up with our fantastic and bonehead play of the week. What do you got for us?
Okay, so a lot of my fantastic plays happen to be covered around racing because, I mean, it was NASCAR week here in Chicago.
Yes, sir.
So my fantastic play of the week happens to be the pass Alex Bowman made on Joey Hand to get around him and eventually pull away from him, and score that monstrous victory in the streets of Chicago. Very happy for Alex Bowman. My bonehead of the play of the week, I know you like this, happens to go to Mr. Kyle Larson for sending it in way deep into turn 6 and just knocking down that concrete wall.
Oh, yeah. He flew right into that. Ooh.
Yep, that Kyle Larson's one of the best drivers in the whole world, but that was a boneheaded move right there.
Oh, he's been driving like a bonehead for the past couple weeks.
He has. He really has. So, sorry, buddy. You get no sympathy here from us.
Nope. I like those picks, Matt. Let's go on to my fantastic and bonehead play of the week. My first one, Joey Loperfido from the Astros, pulling off the epic home run robbery. He tries to catch a fly ball with his glove. It bounces off his hand. It bounces off his glove and lands in his hand. So he catches it with his hands. He jumps up, goes off his glove, comes down with it with his hand. Holy shit! You can't, you can't
make that stuff up. That's pretty cool. That's
great catch by Loperfido. The catch of the year. Yeah, no, he just goes up,
Yeah.
Bounces off his glove and into his hand for the catch.
Yeah. That is instantly catch of the year in my opinion.
Yep.
That is easily.
Then my bonehead play of the week. Yep, Kyle Larson being an idiot again. Coming in too hot behind Ty Gibbs. Boom! Into the barrier he goes.
That was not a good move at all from Mr. Larson. Clearly the dumbest.
He came in too fucking fast. Like, dude, it's a street course. Slow the fuck down.
Yeah, why are you sending it in that deep into turn 6 when you're trying to turn right? Or turn
typical
left
driving in Illinois.
Kyle Larson replicating a lot of other street drivers,
Kyle Larson, we usually see that a lot, and not in Chicago, and not only in Chicago, but in the suburbs. Naperville, Plainfield, Woodridge, Oswego, Yorkville. Like, bro, we're seeing that shit out in Oswego and Yorkville and Plainfield. Those places used to be in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, like Kyle Larson showing off his suburb driving skills right there.
Oh yeah, Kyle Larson's letting up his Chicago suburbs. Name the suburb town, and he'll be doing that shit. Shit, up in Winnetka, Willamette, Barrington, Schaumburg.
Niles.
Niles. Park Ridge.
Waukegan. All those.
Cary Grove. It's Lincolnshire. We can name all the suburbs. We can name all the suburbs in Chicago and the suburbs of Chicago, and Kyle Larson will literally show those vibes. Like, oh, yep, that's how some people drive in the suburbs.
Yeah, exactly. That's just how Kyle Larson is. That's how Kyle Larson was this weekend.
Yes, sir. And that wraps up the show, Matt. Another great episode of the Kodos Mojo.
Hey, thanks again for having me on. Looking forward to it, and can't wait to get Ian on here sometime soon.
For sure. And don't forget, I want to check out our podcast show, the Kodo Bach Pit Stop. Matt.
Oh yeah, Kodo Bach Pit Stop coming on. Be doing that every week after every NASCAR race, and that'll be a lot of fun there too. Check it out.
Yes, it will, Matt. Yes, it will. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into the Kodos Mojo. We will see you next time.